Alright guys, welcome back with me with another YouTube video. So today I'll talking about Enma's sword ability in One Piece. So, make sure to stay tuned for that. If you do enjoy seeing this anime reviews and want to keep them coming, the best thing you can do is smash that like button, and if you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial, hit that notification bell or you will miss future anime videos. Enma's sword is currently a hot topic of conversation among One Piece fans. Because the sword contains lots of mysteries. Enma's sword itself was first mentioned when Hiyori asked Zoro to return Shushui's sword, and in exchange she would give Enma's sword, which was the sword of her father, Kazuki Oden. There are several interesting things about this Enma sword. The first is, as mentioned, if Enma's sword is Kazuki Oden's sword. However, the interesting fact is that Kazuki Oden is a two-sword-wielding samurai. Besides Enma, Oden also has another sword, namely Aim no Habakiri. It is a culture that the inhabitants of Wano must own at least one sword. Oden then gave the Enma sword to his daughter, while he gave Aim no Habakiri to his son, Momonosuke. Another interesting thing about Enma is that it turns out that this sword can penetrate Kaido's strong defenses. As mentioned by Hiyori, Enma is the only sword that has ever inflicted wounds on Kaido. By being able to inflict wounds on the most powerful person in the world, of course Enma is not a random sword. Based on Hiyori's narrative, the sword was made by a well-known swordsman who was not only famous in Wano but even left Wano. His name is Shimotsuki Kozaburo. He is also the swordsman who made Wado Ichimonji. Then, what about the strength? By being able to injure Kaido, of course, it is proof of how powerful Enma's power is. In addition, when Zoro wielded the sword, Enma's haki was felt and immediately merged with Zoro. When Zoro wanted to test it by cutting down a tree, Zoro cut the hill instead. With his immense power, it is only natural that Enma is one of the 21 Owazamono, or a sword with a perfect level. Tengu himself said that Enma was even able to cut hell. He also said that if Zoro was able to turn into a black blade or black sword, Enma would go up one level to become the 12-sword Seijo o Wazamono, which is 12 swords with the highest level. Mihawk's Yuru and Whitebeard's Murakumogiri were two of these levels. To change a sword into a black blade or black sword is certainly not easy. Mihawk once said that if you want to turn a sword into a black blade, the relationship between the user and the sword must be very strong. Eiichiro Oda actually gave a clue about Enma himself in his story. An example is in chapter 937, on the cover Zoro is seen reading a map with the words Enma on it. Then, in chapter 950, Enma is the name of a shrine in a forest in Wano where Hiyori and Zoro rested from the chase of the ninja ordered by Orochi. The name Enma itself is etymologically the Japanese language of a god in Hindu and Buddhist teachings, namely Yama. In Japanese mythology, the figure of Yama or Enma is depicted as a god of death who guards hell. He also determines whether a soul who has died will go to hell or go to heaven. The figure of Yama is often depicted as a man with a large build, a bright red face, bulging eyes, and a long beard. This Hindu and Buddhist mythology really feels appropriate for Zoro, especially with the moves or abilities he has. As we know, Zoro's sword skills are often associated with Buddhist or Hindu gods such as Ashura. With this Enma sword, of course Zoro can hurt Kaido again. Maybe not only Kaido, but even Big Mom could be injured by Zoro's Enma. With Enma's help, Zoro was able to cut down Big Mom and Kaido's troops. Because, it turns out that Luffy's and Kaido's alliance is unbalanced. Luffy's alliance is only about 3,000 people while Kaido has 40,000 people. With Enma's help, Zoro was able to cut down Kaido's troops with ease and made Luffy approach and beat Kaido and Big Mom.